Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Translations and purports by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashacha Desha Tarane. So, Adi-lila, chapter 9, the desired tree of devotional service. And we're starting from text 26 or 27? 27, I think. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about the Caitanya tree. So this tree started off with the roots of those legendary, say legend, they're all legends, sannyasis like Madhavendra Puri and Ishvara Puri and Ishvara Puri is not here, Paramananda Puri. Yeah, these 9 sannyasis. And then, oh yeah, so they were kind of, they're the roots. And then, oh, Hare Krishna, Madhavadi came back. The roots. And then, just going back to the pages. Anyways, so from that, oh yeah, then the 2 main branches were Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. And then they branched out, and Lord Chaitanya is the trunk. And then their disciples and grand disciples became all the branches and sub-branches. So that's what we're doing. And then it says the fruits that grew on those branches and sub-branches surpassed the taste of nectar. So that brings us to text 27. Akila ye prema pala amrita madura vilaya chaitanya mali nahilaya mula. The fruits ripened and became sweet and nectarian. The gardener, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, distributed them without asking any price. Wow. So, yeah, Lord Chaitanya talks about how when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, he said, the price was surrender. You have to give up everything else and surrender to him. Then he'll deliver you. Then he'll free you from all sinful actions. Then you're good. And Lord Chaitanya, he didn't even ask a price. He was just like, oh, just take for free. If you will receive it, then I'm giving it. Okay. Text 28. Shri Jagate Yata Ache Dana Ratnamani Eka Palera Mulya Kari Taha Nahi Gani.
Yes. All the wealth in the 3 worlds cannot equal the value of one such nectarian fruit of devotional service.
Right. So this one fruit is worth all the wealth. Is more than all the wealth in all the 3 worlds, including the heavenly planets and the higher planets and everywhere. So this is very, very valuable. Why? Because it's not from this world. These are the fruits of Krishna Prema that came from Krishna Lokas, the spiritual world. Mage vana mage keha patra va apatra ihara vicharana hi jane deha matra.
Not considering who asked for it and who did not, nor who was fit and who unfit to receive it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the fruit of devotional service. Purport. This is the sum and substance of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtana movement. There is no distinction made between those who are fit and those who are not fit to hear or take part in the Sankirtana movement. It should therefore be preached without discrimination. The only purpose of the preachers of the Sankirtan movement must be to go on preaching without restriction. This is the way in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced this Sankirtan movement to the world.
Yeah, so this is Lord Chaitanya's word that just go out there and give people the holy name, give them the books. Don't worry about who's qualified, who's not qualified, who's fit, who's not fit. We just have to keep going out there and preaching without any restriction. Anjali Anjali Bari Pele Chaturdishe Daridra Kudana Kaya Malakara Hase.
The transcendental gardener, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed handful after handful of fruit in all directions. And when the poor, hungry people ate the fruit, the gardener smiled with great pleasure.
So that's us. We're the poor, hungry people, starving for love of God. So it's just like, when you're trying to, doing a program or you're going out on book distribution, and then you meet someone, many people are not interested. They don't take, but then when someone actually takes a book and actually appreciates it, and you feel like they're really going to read it and value it, you become so happy, right? It's like there's nothing more ecstatic than that. When somebody walks away with the book like, wow, this is so interesting. I can't wait to read it. So that says that Lord Chaitanya smiled with great pleasure whenever the people took the fruits. Malakara kaheshuna vriksha parivara mula shaka upashaka yateka prakara.
Lord Chaitanya thus addressed the multifarious varieties of branches and sub-branches of the tree of devotional service.
Now we're going to see what Trump has to say to the branches. What Lord Chaitanya has to say to all of his disciples and grand disciples and great grand disciples, all the way down to us. Alokika vriksha kare sarvendriya karma staraya dade jangamera dharma. Hannah, do you want to read? Text 32.
Yeah. Since the tree of devotional service is transcendental, every one of its parts can perform the action of all the others. Although a tree is supposed to be immovable, this tree nevertheless moves. Purport. It is our experience in the material world that trees stand in one place, but in the spiritual world, a tree can go from one place to another. Therefore, everything in the spiritual world is called alokika, uncommon or transcendental. Another feature of such a tree is that it can act universally. In the material world, the roots of a tree go deep within the earth to gather food. But in the spiritual world, the twigs, branches, and leaves of the upper portion of the tree can act like the roots.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so alokika. Loka means this place where we live, right? This world. And then aloka means not of this world. So this tree is unlike any tree of this world because it moves. The fruits grow from all the parts of it, even from the roots. the fruits are popping out even from the roots. So yeah, this is a very special tree. Evrikshera angahaya sabha sachaitana Badiya vyapila sabe sakala bhuvana. Sneha.
Yes, Prabhupada Priya, just a minute.
33.
Yeah. Just a minute. It got stuck. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh, fools.
Wait, 33. Wait, chapter 9, text 33.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All the parts of this tree are spiritually cognizant, and this grows spread all over the world.
The girls were thinking you were talking to them. Oh, fools! Okay, wow. So this tree, not only is it moving and so forth, but he's going on to say that all the parts of this tree are spiritually cognizant. And yeah, they spread all over the world, not just like a tree spreads over, maybe your backyard or something, right? Or if you have a huge banyan tree, it might spread over like a street or something. But this tree spreads all over the world. So this is also Lord Chaitanya predicting that the Sankirtan movement will be spread all over the world. Not just, he says bhuvana, which literally means all over the world. Sakala bhuvana, not just all over India or all over the whole world. Ekala malakara ami kahan yaba Ekala kata pala padiya vilava. I am the only gardener. How many places can I go? How many fruits can I pick and distribute? Purport. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicates that the distribution of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra should be performed by combined forces. Although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he laments, how can I act alone? How can I, alone, pick the fruit and distribute it all over the world? This indicates that all classes of devotees should combine to distribute the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without consideration of the time, place, or situation. So what Lord Chaitanya is saying is that I need your help. Right? It says he's talking to all of the branches and he's addressing the multifarious varieties of branches and sub-branches of the tree of devotional service, including us, and he's saying, I need help. These fruits need to go all over the world. This tree needs to spread all over the world. People need to connect with this tree, and I'm one person, and I need you to reach out and do the work, distribute the love of God, distribute the holy names. Okay. Ekala utana dite haya parishrama keha napaya jahe mane brahma.
It would certainly be a very laborious task to pick the fruits and distribute them alone. And still, I suspect that someone would receive them and others would not.
So he's saying that if I was going to do this alone, it would be a lot of work, and I'm sure I would miss some people because it's too many people. Ataiva anu agya dilun sabakare yahan tahan prema pala deha yare tare.
Therefore, I order every man within this universe to accept this Krishna conscious movement and distribute it everywhere. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this connection, there is a song sung by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Can I skip this?
Yeah, you can see.
The Sankirtana movement has been introduced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to dispel the illusion of Maya, by which everyone in this material world thinks himself to be a product of matter and therefore to have many duties pertaining to the body. Actually, the living entity is not this material body. He is the spirit soul. He has a spiritual need to be eternally blissful and full of knowledge, but unfortunately, he identifies himself with the body, sometimes as a human being, sometimes as an animal, sometimes as a tree, sometimes as an aquatic, sometimes a demigod, and so on. Thus, with each change of body, he develops a different type of consciousness with different types of activities, and thus becomes increasingly entangled in material existence, transmigrating perpetually from one body to another. Under the spell of Maya or illusion, he does not consider the past or future, but is simply satisfied with the short lifespan that he has gotten for the present. To eradicate this illusion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought the Sankirtan movement, and he requests everyone to accept and distribute it. A person who is actually a follower of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vinoda Thakura must immediately accept the request of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by offering respectful obeisances onto his lotus feet and thus beg from him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If one is fortunate enough to beg from the Lord this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, his life is successful.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lord Chaitanya is ordering, right? He says, Ami Agya. Agya means order. Dilun. I give the order to who? Sabakare, to everyone. That wherever you go, Yahan means wherever, and Taha means everywhere. Dua, prema, phala, deha. Give this fruit of prema, yari tari, to anyone and everyone. Bengali is actually very sweet. So yeah, that's Lord Chaitanya's order, that wherever we go, whoever we meet, just tell them about Krishna. Give them the holy name, give them a book, give them a flyer to come to Bhakti Circle, give them a card for Kalachandji's restaurant. Somehow or other, get them in touch with Chaitanya tree so that they can get the spiritual nourishment coming from the roots up through the trunk, down to the branches and the sub branches and the twigs. Yeah. This is our mission. Text 37. Ekala malakara ami kata palakava nadia vae pala araki gariba.
Only gardener, if I do not distribute these fruits, what shall I do with them? How many fruits can I eat? Allow me. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu produced so many fruits of devotional service that they must be distributed all over the world. Otherwise, how could he alone release and taste each and every fruit? Original reason that Lord Sri Chaitanya descended as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to understand Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna and to taste that love. The fruits of the tree of devotional service were innumerable, and therefore he wanted to distribute them unrestrictedly to everyone. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore writes, there are many previous incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but none were so generous, kind, and magnanimous as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for he distributed the most confidential aspect of devotional service, namely the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. Therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada desires that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu live perpetually in the heart of all devotees, for thus they can understand and realize the loving affairs of Srimati Radharani and Krishna.
Yeah, so Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada is bringing it back to the beginning, right? Remember the internal purposes for why Lord Chaitanya came. And so he came to try to taste the happiness that Radharani feels, the love that she feels for him. And so that's the fruits, right? That's the fruits of this tree is love for Krishna. And not just any love for Krishna, but Radharani's love for Krishna, right? In the mood that Srimati Radharani loves Krishna, which is the most intimate, the most intense, the most blissful love for Krishna. And so Lord Chaitanya tastes it, but he's saying, there's so many fruits. Actually, this is abundant. There's so many fruits, like myself alone, I can't even eat them all. Like I came here to taste these fruits. I'm like going crazy with all these fruits. There's so many fruits. I want to distribute them. So he's saying, please help me distribute these fruits. You eat, and then you pass them out too. And then they eat, and they pass them out too. And they eat, and they pass them out too. In this way, they. So Rupa Goswami is one person who was a direct disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who tasted the fruits from that tree, and he wanted to distribute them. So he wrote this beautiful verse that's talking about how Lord Chaitanya is the most generous form of the Lord, because he very freely gave this conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. And so Rupa Goswami in this verse, he's actually giving everyone, all the readers, a benediction that may Lord Chaitanya be situated in the innermost region of your heart. And may you always understand, may you relish the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. So this is the nature of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is that they always want to bless everyone. Right? May you become a pure devotee. May you understand Radha and Krishna. May you develop pure ecstatic love for God. Right? This is like the mood of the devotees, is just wanting to bless everyone. Following the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, because that's his mood, because he's in the mood of Radharani, that's Radharani's mood. So Krishna, when he comes in Radharani's mood, then he has this ecstatic generosity, so much compassion, just wants to flood the whole world with love of God. Yeah.
If he was about to deliver Jagai and Madai, he was about to kill him. Was he still in the mood of Radharani, or he overcome, like he was in mood of Krishna?
Yeah, that for a moment he changed his mood because his devotee was hurt. Right?
He was in the mood of Narasimha.
But Lord Nityananda, by Lord Nityananda's love, he brought Lord Chaitanya back to his actual mood. Then he actually blessed Jagai and Madai, embraced them. He ended up embracing them. Hannah, you got your hand up there?
Yeah, I have a question, but it's a little bit off topic. I was just wondering, I understand why like so many spiritual personalities or divine personalities come from India, because the Lord had his pastimes there. But why did he go to India? I've heard before it's because of the punya, like the piety of the people that were living there. But I just feel like in every religion they have this thing where it's like almost like a geographical superiority complex where it's like, oh, well, Jesus came to this land, so we're chosen, or Krishna came to this land, so we're chosen. I'm just wondering, why did the Lord descend there?
Yeah, so many incarnations, right? They all came to India. At least one of them could have come to the US. Bless the rascals over here. Well, I'm not really sure, but I could speculate that, it's just like if you're going to go out in book distribution, you're going to go to the place where you think you're going to distribute the most books, where the people are going to be most receptive. And yeah, so India has always been like the land of religion. The people there are very pious, very receptive, very open-hearted. So that was just practicality, right? That he would go to a place where people are going to receive him well. I mean, if he came here, God knows what would have happened to Lord Chaitanya in 1500s, 1400s and 1500s in the US. What was even happening at that time in history? 1400s. It was
Was it a lot of people?
1492. That time it was like all Native Americans here. Like
Yeah, that's what
it hadn't been discovered. It was discovered Columbus came here in 1492.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much happening here. It was like some Indians living in teepees and hunting buffaloes and
Pre-Columbian era.
yeah.
Yeah.
They had their tribal religions. It wasn't very populated either. There was hardly any people here.
Yeah, most of the thing, it was all covered with snow, and gradually it started with people population. There's some Red Indians there.
Huh?
The Red Indians live.
Yeah, the Native Americans.
Native
were
Americans,
here.
yeah.
I'm not sure how. I mean, maybe Lord Chaitanya could have made them into devotees, but I feel like one, there's more people in India. Two, they already have a background in Vedic culture. Three, Krishna came there, and the holy dhams were there. So Lord Chaitanya was also he could go and see the deities of Krishna and visit Vrindavan, and it was just good in many ways, like that. But then, after Lord Chaitanya established things in India, then he definitely put things in place for it to spread, right? That was always his intention, right? And that's what he says here, that all over the world. So then, he sent or arranged for these divine personalities from the spiritual world to come down, right? Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They're all gopis from the spiritual world to come down to preach and open up temples and initiate disciples. And then he arranged for Srila Prabhupada to also come, and then to get the instruction. He said, I'm going to send my Senapati Bhakta, my general, my field general, to go to the places where I wasn't able to reach. And so then it was all Krishna speaking through Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to give Srila Prabhupada that order. And then it's also said that Prabhupada said this. He said that before he came to the West, Krishna arranged for some eternal associates. So Krishna didn't come here, but he sent some of his eternal associates to take birth in the US to assist Srila Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada, and so as soon as he started, going out into Tompkins Square Park with his karatals and chanting Hare Krishna, the devotees came. Like Mukunda Maharaj came and immediately started supporting Srila Prabhupada. They got him a place, they paid his rent, they became his disciples, and Janaki, and then came, others, so many others. Malati and Shamasundar, and his early disciples. Yamuna, Yamuna was there in the very beginning in New York, right? And she was one of the early ones who stayed the whole time.
Yeah, she went for the wedding and she stayed.
Yeah. So and then like Jayananda and Jayapataka Swami. Yeah, I think Srila Prabhupada said about Jayapataka Swami, and I'm sure it's true of others, but he said it. I know that he said it about Jayapataka Swami, that he's like an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya that came to help serve in the mission, spread Krishna consciousness in the West to support Prabhupada. So basically, like, you know, we had Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Hridayananda Maharaj, these stalwart, like devotees who did things that were practically humanly impossible. You know, imagine one young guy going down to like a continent where he's never been before, and just like, you know, the way like Hridayananda Maharaj went to South America and just like went there alone, and he just like started preaching, and he, you know, made so many devotees and opened up temples in different countries. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj just went to China, you know, and just like made devotees and communities that are still going today, you know, or Texas, you know. I don't know what's more difficult, Texas or China.
No, Texas is difficult.
Huh?
Like in 70s, it's so conservative. Dallas is very conservative town.
Very what?
Very conservative city.
Conservative. That's what I'm saying. So conservative. A lot of meat eaters. You know, oil, meat, just like really Kali Yuga stuff. This place is not conducive, and yet so many devotees. So this is like not ordinary people that are doing these things. You know, these are like empowered souls. Yeah. Yeah. You go there, and then, you know, Srila Prabhupada had a vision for self-sufficient farm communities, and then, you know, Varshana Swami just happens to like go to New Vrindavan, right? And he's like from a farming background, and he starts like plowing the fields and excavating the land, and, you know, like training up oxen and horses because he knew how to do it from his childhood, and growing food. And, you know, it's like these people are not ordinary. They're not just like, you know, you know, and who the ones, especially the ones who stayed the whole time, like that have been going strong, you know, like never left, like never even went away, you know, over 50 plus years, and are still pushing, still going strong. It's like they're not ordinary souls. So we have to consider that even devotees who are amongst us now, you know, may not be ordinary conditioned souls that are just working off their karma and trying to struggle to anartha vritti, but are actually like, you know, maybe some Nityasiddhas from the spiritual world walking around doing amazing things. So yeah, that's the situation. So even though the Lord didn't come personally, but he sent so many empowered souls to do the job. Pragati?
I was also thinking to answer that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there because I think there was a need, like all people were in Mayavadi and doing all the ritualistic thing, and no one to say take Krishna's name and cast his name. So I think when there was need, he went there. When the need was here, he sent Prabhupada. And can we also say that he sent Jesus also? Jesus here and
to the Middle East,
Yeah. And what happened to Jesus? Like how people treated.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So yeah, going to other countries is not easy. Like Caitanya is like
people receptive people are needed to like have to receive Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Like how people receive Jesus.
Yeah.
Is
I mean, luckily Lord Chaitanya wasn't crucified. I mean, they tried, right? They tried to stop him. He was doing Harinam. They went and broke the mridangas. They complained to the Kazi. They tried everything, but Lord Nrsimhadev protected. People tried to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Even Indradutta Swami was wearing a bulletproof vest for a while to his festivals because there were like threats on his life. He was up there leading kirtan on the stage wearing a bulletproof vest.
Here?
No, in Poland.
Poland is a tough. We still have rights.
Oh yeah.
There are rights. Yeah.
You have another question, Hannah?
Yeah, my question was like, actually, it was, I understand why the Lord's devotees took their birth there because he was, you know, the Lord's holy Dham is there. I meant Krishna. Why did Krishna? Because when we read the Bhagavatam, we read that there used to be one king of the whole earth planet and that everybody practiced like Vedic civilization. So I'm just wondering why there.
I mean, Krishna came because there were so many demons, right? He was asked by the demigods to come, and the earth was overburdened. by so many demons, and it just happened that all those demons were in India. So that was where the work was. So India is like, it's historically the land of the pious and also the land of religion and the land of irreligion. It's a land of extremes. Actually, yeah, I was hearing that like this was about 10 years ago. Someone was saying that the most beef that is produced in the world, or maybe second to the US, is India. The most cows that are slaughtered for the meat industry coming from India. So it's kind of like, yeah, Krishna goes there, but so does Kamsa and Jarasandha and Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So yeah, it's a place of intense extremes. Yes, Kritika.
I was also thinking, like, as everywhere you said, like, whenever Lord descends, he comes with like his paraphernalia and like everybody else, and like his conditions have to be favorable. So like, I just feel like there's Ganges, there is like all those mountains and all those. So I just feel like in that region, I think people were like, this is not the right word, but kind of like they knew how to approach like basically like what they teach in yoga, like a Wi-Fi, like they knew where the frequency is gonna match. So it's like they knew that science. I think so. That's why like Krishna is like, okay, this is my land because okay, here is the connection. So that's why I'm gonna go there. So yeah, because everything is already there. He just has to come. Like
Yeah, holy rivers are the right Ganges, Yamuna.
yeah, and like people are like already knowing like yeah how to connect, so it's like easy like yeah basically like all the favorable conditions. That's what it looks like.
That's probably why the demons chose that place too, right?
Yeah.
Because they're thinking like, yeah, we can be strong here.
I was trying to. I had the same question and I was trying to figure out the answer. I read some article. I don't trust it, but it was pretty convincing that India, all the temples and the location is as such that it might be kind of a gateway to transmigrate to other worlds.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, actually, that's the thing. Yeah, actually, the word tirtha, places that are like holy places of pilgrimage, they're called tirthas. So the word tirtha, Hridayananda Maharaj was saying, it literally means a crossing point. It's like a portal. There are these like tirthas are like portals that souls from the spiritual world come down and souls from the material world go up. It's like like these mystical pathways or crosswalks, crosswalks, where you can be. Yeah. So when people come down, they come through those crossing points, and they end up in India. And people that go, like one of our sannyasis, Madhunarayan Swami, just left his body from Vrindavan. It's a crossing point. Vrindavan is a place from which you can very easily,
like an airport.
Like an airport, yeah. So if you live far away from the airport, it's hard to get anywhere. You need to drive. You need to drive all the way to the airport to get somewhere.
Yeah.
So in the same way, like if you want to go to the spiritual world, then of course Prabhupada was so empowered that he was able to create tirthas in other places. So that's like the potency of a devotee like Prabhupada, is he can like carve out new, just like sometimes like they're like a country, well, can't really relate here, but I guess you can. And think of roads, like highways. So there are highways. If you're on the highway, you can get somewhere really fast. But then there are some places where you look at the map and you need to get from point A to point B, and there's no direct road, right? You need to go this way and then that way, like that. So, but someone who's like construction company, engineer, the government can like make a new road if there's enough demand for it. They can make a new road. So Prabhupada was that, powerful person that can make a new road back to Godhead from anywhere.
He created Tirtha, New Vrindavan, all the 108 temples.
Yeah, and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj proved it. Funny, his name is Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, because his whole thing was when he was leaving, he was like sick. He it's like over a period of time because he had cancer, so it was a slow dying process. And devotees asked him, "Do you want to go leave your body in Vrindavan or Mayapur?" He said, "No, I want to leave my body here in Gita Nagari because I want to make a statement to the world, like show the world that this Gita Nagari is not different from Vrindavan or Mayapur." So proving the tirtha that by bhakti, a tirtha can be established. That's cool. I never even thought about that.
Texas.
In Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a farm. It's a nice farm.
Weird Harrisburg.
Okay, shall we go on? Text 39, right?
38.
Did we didn't read 38? Okay, 38. Atma ichamrite vriksha sinchini rantara tahate asankhya pala vrikshera upara.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the transcendental desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, water has been sprinkled all over the tree, and thus there are innumerable fruits of love of Godhead. But God is unlimited, and his desires are also unlimited. This example of unlimited fruits is factually appropriate even within the material context, for with the goodwill of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there can be enough fruits, grain, and other foodstuffs produced so that all the people in the world could not finish them, even if they ate 10 times their capacity. In this material world, there is actually no scarcity of anything but Krishna consciousness. If people become Krishna conscious by the transcendental will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be enough foodstuffs produced so that people will have no economic problems at all. One can very easily understand this fact. The production of fruits and flowers depend not upon our will, but upon the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. If he is pleased, he can supply enough fruits, flowers, etc. But if people are atheistic and godless, then nature, by his will, restricts the supply of food. For example, in several provinces in India, especially Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and other adjoining states, there is sometimes a great scarcity of foodstuffs due to lack of rainfall. So-called scientists and economists cannot do anything about this. Therefore, to solve all problems, one must seek the goodwill of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by becoming Krishna conscious and worshipping him regularly in devotional service.
Right. So, yeah. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the only scarcity in this world is Krishna consciousness. And if people were more Krishna conscious, then there would be so much production. Yeah, there's a lot of examples in Srimad Bhagavatam, like during the time of King Vena, because he was such a demon. He was the king of the whole planet, but he was a demon. So at that time, the earth just stopped producing. The earth was just like, I'm not going to feed this demon. And all of his citizens that he's like sort of indoctrinating in his demoniac philosophies. So yeah, there was a lot of food shortage. Fresh fruits and flowers and things like that. The cows weren't giving so much milk, and it was hard times. So that's what happens when society becomes very sinful. Then the earth is like, why should I maintain these people? But as soon as we revive Krishna consciousness, then the earth is like, oh, nice. If you're going to offer my food to Krishna, then take all the food. That's why we have to really try to be Krishna conscious. And of course, this desire tree of devotional service, this Bhakti Kalpa Vriksha, is fully Krishna conscious. So this tree is blessed by the Lord, right? That says, by the desire of the Lord, water has been sprinkled all over this tree. So this is one tree that's never going to have problems. This tree is always going to thrive. It's always going to flourish if we just, put our energy there. And then when the tree of our devotional service flourishes, then everything else in life will also be abundant, right? We'll have plenty of material things that we need. Will all be supplied by the mercy of the Lord and his servants. So, yeah, mainly we need to focus on our Krishna consciousness. And everything will follow from that. I was saying these so-called scientists and economists, they're like, there's drought in places, but they can't do anything about it. Right? There's no material solution. The only solution is Krishna consciousness. But people don't understand that. Right? They're thinking, oh, we'll put some chemicals in the clouds and the rain will come. And then what happened? We found out last summer, right? There's a huge flood here in Texas because so much rain came that people were getting killed. It's last summer.
Yes.
That's what they were saying. Yeah, they're saying because that's what many people were saying. They were seeding the clouds with this chemical thing to make. I was in Texas.
No, yeah, here.
I mean, maybe Dubai as well, but we had one in Texas. And they also, yeah,
Yeah, near San Antonio.
like hundreds of people got like killed and injured and yeah, the flood. So yeah, when we try to solve material problems with material solutions, it just makes more problems. The solution is Krishna consciousness. Please, Krishna. Krishna is very straightforward about it. He says, you do yagya, what happens? Rain comes. And what's the yagya? Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan. So we go out and Sankirtan and we come together, chant, do kirtan, rain comes. And it's going to come just nicely. You know, it's not going to be like rain that kills us. When you try to do your material solutions, trying to control and manipulate Mother Nature, and Mother Nature strikes back. She's like, I'm going to show you who's boss.
And we see it practically. Sometimes we go to Harinam in so much sun. And we do Harinam Yagya, chanting, and raindrops.
Some nice raindrops.
Good clouds.
Yeah. Hannah?
So is it that the earth withdraws her resources, and then whenever we are Krishna conscious, she feels like she wants to be a part of the seva, so she contributes? Or is it that like a lack of piety makes the earth withdraw the resources? And because basically my question is, how does free will exist if when we're suffering, the way we get out of suffering is worshiping Krishna? You know, if it's like, oh, you want rain, okay, worship me. And it's like, well, how does free will exist under those conditions?
Because we can decide whether to worship Krishna or not.
Yeah, but you're saying we're going to suffer unless we worship Krishna. So then where does free will exist in that concept?
Well, free will means we can decide what we do. But, we don't get to decide the consequences of what we do. Right? It's like somebody has their free will whether to be a law-abiding citizen or a criminal. But if they decide to be a criminal, then they can't decide whether they're going to go to jail or not. Right? It's like we can decide what we're going to do, but we can't decide the consequences. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us proceed. Text 39. Ataiva Sava Pala Dehaya Retare Kaya Loka Ajara Amare.
Distribute this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Let people eat these fruits and ultimately become free from old age and death. Purport. The Krishna consciousness movement introduced by Lord Chaitanya is extremely important because one who takes to it becomes eternal, being freed from birth, death, and old age. People do not recognize that the real distresses in life are the four principles of birth, death, old age, and disease. They are so foolish that they resign themselves to these four miseries. Mantra. By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from all misery. But because they are enchanted by the illusory energy, people do not take this movement seriously. Therefore, those who are actually servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must seriously distribute this movement all over the world to render the greatest benefit to human society. Of course, animals and other lower species are not capable of understanding this movement, but if even a small number of human beings take it seriously, then by their chanting loudly, all living entities, including even trees, animals, and other lower species, will be benefited. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Haridas Thakur how he was to benefit living entities other than humans, Srila Haridas Thakur replied that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is so potent that if it is chanted loudly, everyone will benefit, including the lower species of life.
So he's saying that by chanting Hare Krishna, we get free from old age and death. You feeling free from old age, Mother Vaidehi?
Yes,
We see that. It's so amazing, right? That even like devotees who the body may be like, 60, 70, 80 years old, but They don't have a mood of an old person, right? They just seem to become younger every year. I mean, the body is doing its thing, but the person is not like becoming grumpy and old and defeated and fearful and all that the way like materialistic people get when they get old. So, and then yeah, time of death, there's no rebirth. You just soul just goes back to Godhead, and then you never have to worry again about even the body getting old or very beautiful thing. Solve all the problems, all the real problems of life. And yeah, so we can benefit everyone, even lower species, by chanting loudly. I remember when I was living in Scotland, the temple was next to this farmer's field, and the field was always full of sheep. So I remember, like in the summertime, we would open the windows, and we would always just chant our japa really loud and try to like for the benefit of the sheep. Be like really yelling.
Maybe they come to listen to Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
They're all devotees now.
Yeah.
The sheep are supposed are said to be like very submissive, good followers, right? They say that if you just follow somebody blindly, it's like you're like a sheep, right?
Yeah. How many years ago it was? 1995 possible. Yeah. 98. These two are the possibilities.
95 and 96. Yeah, 95, 96.
90
Those
were
2
born.
years.
We're both born on 90.
Oh, I was the 95, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 96.
Okay. All your life you're trying to find where's that person who's chanting Hare Krishna for us? And then Krishna got you to Dallas. Okay, text 40. Jagat Vyapya Mora Habe Punya Khyati Sukhi Haya Loka Mora Gahi Beka Kirti. Hannah?
If the fruits are distributed all over the world, my reputation as a pious man will be known everywhere, and thus all people will glorify my name with great pleasure. Srila Prabhupada's purport. This prediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now actually coming to pass. The Krishna consciousness movement is being distributed all over the world through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and people who were leading confused, chaotic lives are now feeling transcendental happiness. They are finding peace in Sankirtan, and therefore they are acknowledging the supreme benefit of this movement. This is a blessing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His prediction is now actually being fulfilled, and those who are sober and conscientious are appreciating the value of this great movement.
Yeah, so Lord Chaitanya is saying, if the fruits are distributed all over the world, my reputation will be known everywhere. So now that's happening, right? More and more people are coming to know about Lord Chaitanya, and people will glorify, chant his name with great pleasure. So that's also happening. People who are leading confused, chaotic lives are now feeling transcendental happiness. Does that apply to anyone here? We are leading confused, chaotic lives, and now we're chanting the holy names and feeling transcendental happiness by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So we are the fulfillment of Lord Chaitanya's prediction. Jai. This next verse is very, very famous. Are you ready, Sneha? Get ready. Text 41.
Yes, Priya.
Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Yara Janma Sartaka Kaitara Para Upakara.
One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Purport. The magnanimity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressed in this very important verse. Although he was born in Bengal and Bengalis therefore have a special duty toward him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is addressing not only Bengalis but all the inhabitants of India. It is in the land of India that actual human civilizations can be developed. Human life is especially meant for God realization. As stated in the Vedanta Sutra, Atado Brahma Jignasa, anyone who takes birth in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, has the special privilege of being able to take advantage of the instruction and guidance of the Vedic civilization. He automatically receives the basic principles of spiritual life. For 99% of the Indian people, even simple village farmers and others who are neither educated or sophisticated, believe in the migration of the soul, believe in past and future lives, believe in God, and naturally want to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His representative. These ideas are the natural inheritance of a person born in India. India has many holy places of pilgrimage such as Gaya, Banaras, Mathura, Prayaga, Vrindavan, Haridwar, Rameshwaram, and Jagannath Puri, and still people go there by hundreds and thousands. Although the present leaders of India are influencing the people not to believe in God, not to believe in the next life, and not to believe in distinction between pious and impious people life, and although they are teaching them how to drink wine, eat meat, and become supposedly civilized, people are nevertheless afraid of the four activities of sinful life, namely illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. And whenever there is a religious festival, they gather together by the thousands. We have actually experience of this. Whenever the Krishna consciousness movement holds a Sankirtana festival in a big city like Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, Ahmedabad, or Hyderabad, thousands of people come to hear. Sometimes we speak in English, but even though most people do not understand English, they nevertheless come to hear us. Even when imitation incarnation of Godhead speak, people gather in thousands, for everyone who is born in this land of India has a natural spiritual inclination and is taught the basic principles of spiritual life. They merely need to be a little more educated in the Vedic principles. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here says, Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara para upakara. If an Indian is educated in the Vedic principles, he is able to perform the most beneficial welfare activity of for the entire world. At present, for want of Krishna consciousness or God consciousness, the entire world is in darkness, having been covered by the four principles of sinful life: meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. Therefore, there is a need of vigorous propaganda to educate people to refrain from sinful activities. This will bring peace and prosperity. The rogues, thieves, and debauchees will naturally decrease in number, and all of human society will be God conscious. The practical effect of our spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world is that now the most degraded debauchees are becoming the most elevated saints. This is only one India's humble service to the world. If all Indians are taken to this path as advised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, India would have given a unique gift to the world, and thus India would have been glorified. Now, however, India is known as a poverty stricken country, and whenever anyone from America or other opulent country goes to India, he sees many people lying on the footpath from whom there are now not even provisions for a 2 day meals a day. They are all also institutions collecting money from all parts of the world in the name of welfare of the poverty stricken people, but they are spending it for their own sense gratification. Now, on the other hand, on the order of Lord Chaitanya Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Krishna consciousness movement has been started, and people are benefiting from this movement. Therefore, it is now the duty of the leading men of India to consider the importance of the movement and train many Indians to go outside of India to preach this cult. People will accept it. There will be cooperation among the people, Indian people, and among the other people of the world, and the mission of India of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will then be fulfilled. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will then be glorified all over the world, and people will naturally be happy, peaceful, prosperous, not only in this life but also in the next. And as stated in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who understands Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead will very easily get salvation or freedom from the reputation of birth and death, and go back home, back to Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore requests every Indian to become a preacher of his cult to save the world from disastrous confusion. This is not only the duty of Indians but the duty of everyone, and we are very happy that American and European boys and girls are seriously cooperating with this movement. One should know definitely that the best welfare activity for all the human societies to awaken man's God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Therefore, everyone should help with this great movement. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 22nd chapter, verse 35, which is quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Next quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Prabhupada's very ecstatic purport here. So we're learning a little bit about, what's so special about India is that the Vedic civilization is still. Prabhupada says it's like a. He said that India is like a dead elephant. Elephant is very valuable when it's alive, but even when it's dead, it's still valuable, right? The tusks and whatever else. So, anyways, he said that we have to bring India back to life, right? Bring the Vedic civilization back to life. Because Prabhupada was so disappointed to see how the Indian people were like following the West. And technology and media and all these things. The Indian people starting eating meat and drinking and, I was actually really surprised because when we first moved to India, it was still very, and it wasn't really that long ago, but it was still like, you never saw the girls talking to the boys and things like that. It was like even outside of ISKCON temples, it was like you saw if you like the girls and boys going to school or something. It's like the girls would be with the girls, the boys would be with the boys, and there was like an etiquette. There was like culture was like that, and then not long. So that was like in the 90s. Then later. Not long before I left India, it was like maybe 2000, 2016. An Indian devotee, and they invited us to go to a place. They invited us to go to like Mangaluru for some Janmashtami festivals. So we went there for Janmashtami, and she knows the devotees there because she went to a university there called Manipal University. It's quite famous, right? Yeah. Manipal is very top notch, like Ivy League for India or something. So, anyways, she went there. She's a doctor and everything, and she met her husband there. So they know the devotees there, and they wanted us to go help do a program. So we did. And then she was saying, so we went to we did program with the devotees at the temple, and we did some house programs, and then we did a program also at Manipal in the dorm with they have a club there where they're cultivating the students. So then she was saying, I just want to warn you, like Manipal is probably not what you think it is. It's like
the worst.
She said it's just like an American university in terms of like alcohol, the drugs, the illicit sex, the everything.
Drugs.
She said the drugs are so bad. And she said that one of the girls, female students who started coming to the programs, she has a brother, right? So her brother was also starting to come to programs and wanting to like follow the four regular principles. She said it was so hard because there's just so much like alcohol and drug abuse at that university. Like if he's hanging out with his friends, he said that they will literally like take him, like a few guys, they'll get him and they'll hold him like his arms and things so he can't go anywhere. And they'll like take his head and force open his mouth and pour the beer down or like whatever. So evil. My God. I was like, I can't believe that happens in India because yeah, and she said alcohol is light, like they do like a lot of drugs there. And she said another thing is that even the girl, because she mentors a lot of girls that are students there. She has calls with them and she's been doing it for years. So she cultivates them. And she said sometimes like they'll do these things like, so when they move into the hostel, it's like there's a girls' hostel, boys' hostel, or they have rooms that, their roommate will be a girl, girls with girls, boys with boys. And then what they'll do is they'll get a boyfriend and then they'll just like agree to switch rooms, like one girl moves in with her boyfriend and the other, and then they're like basically living with the boyfriend and doing everything there in that room, and the parents don't know about it. They're like taking drugs, having illicit sex, everything, and the parents are like paying for it, and and they don't know anything.
The worst, because yeah, I had a lot of friends from Manipal, like the place where I lived, it was closer to Manipal, so I know. Yeah, it's so expensive to like all the rich people.
Yeah,
that's why it is.
Yeah, all the kids have money, their own rooms, their own apart. A lot of them have their own apartments, so then they do what they want in their apartments. They have their own like cars and motorcycles, and they basically they have money and they spend it on all the wrong things.
We have Manipal in Pokhara too.
Oh yeah, something like
It's
that.
so
Oh, it's the same Manipal? Same, it's like a branch.
One thing, just
Is it that bad? Is bad? It's nice.
yeah, just like Annapurna, the street beside it,
Uh-huh.
it's a beautiful
Oh.
hospital and then
But it's not so degraded there. That's good.
we have never heard anything. I mean, we know that it's expensive,
Mm.
yeah, kind of Indian model, but
Mm.
the standard is like really high. It's not degraded yet.
When I heard that about that, when I heard that, and she said, yeah, Manipal's one of the worst, but the other universities are going that way now too.
Yeah.
And when I heard that stuff, I just felt like really like, oh my God, if India is like this, where is the hope? Like there's like nowhere you can go for purity. You just can't find purity on the planet. There's just no hope. I mean, even in Vrindavan, there's so much drugs, illicit sex, yeah, we went on yatra and there was one boy and he was just going around trying to find some laundry service to wash his clothes because he didn't want to wash his clothes by hand. And then, one guy came up to him and he was wearing a dhoti, kurta, everything, and he was trying to interest him in drugs. And he just had to be very firm and say no and get away from that guy. So it's like all over the place. Mayapur, same thing. But the thing is, what I told them, because also this boy, he was like, he had a beard and he was kind of, he looked a little like fringy. I told the devotees, I was like, we stay together and, you look like, the more you look like a good devotee, like a strict devotee, these people will not even bother with you. Because one, they don't want to, that they think, no, are going to buy it. Easy to, yeah, like, so if you're walking the street alone and you're just, wearing, yogi pants and you got a beard and you got your, whatever, Radhikun tilak, and you're just kind of looking like a little bit like, kind of edgy, or I don't know what the word is, but, huh?
Yeah, like can be pushed.
Like not, you under vow 16 rounds. And if you, that's the kind of devotee they're going for, is people, they're not going for devotees who are like, brahmacharis or, shaved head, tilak, chanting, like that look really serious or, so I said that in one do judge us by our appearance, and they're looking for people who are like going to be good customers and easy targets. So just don't give that impression about yourself. Yeah. Even for the girls, like there are men that are looking for easy women, right? And so if you dress in that way, then they're going to approach you. But if you dress like, I'm a strict devotee, I'm following, or I'm, then they won't bother you so much. They might look, but they're not going to try anything. So, yeah.
The tennis of South India changed.
What's that?
South India changed.
Changed for the worse?
Yes.
Is it more degraded than the North? Yeah.
Yes, it is more
Because
degraded.
they have more restrictions, and where we have more restrictions, people like to explore it. And we are told, no, don't do that.
Oh, like
Yeah.
the South Indian families are really
Very
like more
conservative,
rigid
yeah.
and conservative.
Mumbai should be the worst.
I think Mumbai is better than Bangalore and
No. Bangalore is worse.
Bangalore is the
Hyderabad,
worst.
Madras. They're worse now.
Bangalore is like
No, Bangalore, Madras.
worse than I feel like worse than America.
When I went to Bangalore, I was like impressed that at least, I mean, I didn't get to know what's going on there behind the scenes, but it's like, it's almost like a Western city, you know, it's like very organized buildings, people are educated, everyone
It's
speaks
an
English.
IT hub, so all
Yeah.
these IT young people go there.
Okay.
But the literacy rate is also really high, right?
Yeah.
The what? Depression?
No, Bangalore.
Literacy rate is high. Yeah, like everyone's
It's an IT
educated.
hub.
But they have a high cases of marriage divorces and illicit sex and like husbands going cheating on their wives.
And these places have a lot of suicide also, right?
And women they just leave their children and kill their husband and run with their boyfriends. Yeah.
That's crazy. It's like has a reputation for
Because
that.
of all these things, the government had to approve that cheating, like
I need that.
affair
Alright.
outside marriage is not.
But in her, it
What's
changed.
that?
It changed.
It changed.
So,
Yeah, I mean, the only hope for the world now is the Hare Krishnas. That's what Lord Chaitanya is saying. He's saying the people are leading these confused, chaotic lives. The whole world is confused and chaotic, and the only hope is Sankirtan. The only way to find peace, the only way to find happiness, the only way to get free from old age, death, everything, solution for all problems. So we need to take the chanting very seriously, chanting our japa really nicely, doing kirtan very conscientiously, and going out and sharing with others. And that's the only hope for this crazy world.
okay, need to go.
All right. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Karaj Goswami ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki